Things are getting juicy in Jersey, and we're going to talk about it all right now.
Generally speaking.
So Joe Giudice did a tell-all, which didn't really tell anyone anything new. He says he didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. The only one that did something wrong was his business partner, who ratted him out. But hello, you can't rat anybody out if you didn't do anything wrong, right? And then there's Teresa, who echoes the same sentiment and says, I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything wrong? I mean, it's that exact inability to take accountability that has landed her in this $3.3 million tax pickle that she finds herself in with Louie. The kind of pickle that Teresa's been in before. The kind of pickle that sent her to prison. And it's her inability to see things as they really are that's created that sad dynamic that the poor Gorga family finds itself in with her. And I know all of Teresa's stumps like to blame Joe and Melissa for coming on the show behind her back, but let's be real. The issues between Teresa and her sister-in-law long predate Melissa's premiere on the show, and quite frankly, have nothing to do with Melissa herself. I mean, if you want to understand Teresa, you have to understand the Gorga family and where she came from. They were a very small nuclear family. They were insular. Those kids were tight and territorial and very sheltered. Joey was Teresa's little brother. She was the big sister. She was the one in charge. She was the one that he was supposed to turn to. And he did for a long time. And Teresa loved that. She relished that role. But then little Joey started becoming Joe, and that's where the trouble started. Of course, none of Joe's dates were good enough for her beloved baby brother. And even Joe himself has come out and said that Teresa was hard on all the girls he dated. Then Joe met Melissa, and everything really started to shift. I mean, Teresa could feel Melissa's weight in Joe's world from day one, and she was threatened by it. She didn't really want to share her brother's heart with anyone, let alone someone who was funnier, smarter, and better looking than she was. But trust me, Teresa would have taken aim with anyone who Joe paid more attention to. Anyone. Because it's not even really about that other person. It's about the fact that that person is taking her place in Joe's life. It's about the fact that that person is taking her spot as Joe's number one girl. Teresa doesn't understand that Joe loving Melissa isn't going to make him love her any less. She doesn't understand that there's enough light in this world to let everybody shine. And that Melissa and Joe coming on the show didn't have to be perceived as a threat. It shouldn't have been perceived as a threat. I mean, it could have been the more the merrier. It should have been the more the merrier. Could have been, should have been. But Teresa was terrified that Melissa was once again going to steal her shine and her place in the spotlight. So in summary, Teresa's raging insecurities and lack of true self-love have really created the climate that that family finds itself in. And why she's still with Louie. Speaking of Louie, poor Louie, that guy can't seem to get anything off the ground. He's been promoting his latest knockoff, Social Live Brands, a platform that's trying to position itself as an alternative to TikTok, but it's not working, probably because Louie is the face. And quite frankly, after so many shady, scammy business endeavors, no one, and I mean no one, wants to do business with that guy. So Louie, whatever business venture is next, choose a different face to be the face. You might have a little more luck. And then there's Jen Fessler, who is laying it all on the line. She was on a podcast batting for why she should be one of the ones that definitely returns to the show. And honestly, I love Jen Fessler. Jen says, I'm funny, smart. I brought something very different to the New Jersey table. I'm able to laugh at myself. I stop to listen. Jen says, I'm older. My kids are all grown up, so you don't have to watch any dumb kid activities. She says, I'm big into plastic surgery. This face may change. Jen says you never know what to expect. She might shave her head. She might jump off a cliff. Who knows? She's willing to do anything. Meanwhile, Melissa's still deciding what to do with all those new dollars after the success of Let's Sprinkle by MG. And I mean, can we just talk for a second about the balls to the wall irony of this sprinkle cookie success? I mean, if this isn't a lesson for Teresa and evidence that the universe pays very close attention. Teresa and Louie are over there desperately trying to secure a paycheck. Meanwhile, Joe and Melissa are cashing checks and cashing in on all the cookie drama that his sister started just by being such a bitch. I mean, Teresa literally created Melissa's cookie karma. Her cruelty planted the seed, and her constant and continued pettiness served as its PR. I mean, if Teresa would have just smiled and said thank you for the cookies, Melissa wouldn't be sitting atop a sprinkle cookie empire. But alas, there she is. And isn't it sweet? And I'm sure some of those cookie profits could really help pay down Teresa's tax bill. Too bad she burned that bridge. If you've been watching on YouTube, please make sure you smash that subscribe button. And if you think that Teresa is going to end up turning to Joe and Melissa for financial help to keep her from going to prison again, comment below and let me know. If you've been watching this on YouTube, please make sure you reach out and smash that subscribe button. And until we're together again, stay rooted in love. See you next time.